Welcome to Albums of the Week, Episode 4. With all the talk last week of Tauntaun and the number of the beast, the numbers of the beast, I figured the absolute quintessential album to kick off this week would be The Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. 666, The Number of the Beast. Although that's only one of the numbers. I figured this week would be excellent to start off with Iron Maiden, The Number of the Beast. So you enjoy along with me if you have a pressing of this most iconic album. We already covered the dual numbers of the beast in last week's episode. And so to kind of honor that conversation, we've kicked off this week with Iron Maiden, The Number of the Beast. The only way to hear Iron Maiden is in analog. No digital source that I've ever found, either high definition download or CD from Japan or elsewhere, has ever sounded like I believe Iron Maiden should. If you listen to them through the wrong source, you're going to hear a butter knife. And if you listen to them through the right medium, you're going to hear a switchblade knife. And that is how this band should be heard. This pressing is 1993 Russia. It's the same stampers that were used about a decade earlier in UK. So the Russian releases from 1993 used the UK stampers, and the only caveat is that those stampers at that time were a little bit worn. So if you want to hear as near to original UK stamper quality as you can without paying about 5 times more than you should, go for these 93 Russian presses. You get the typical European floppiness, but it is legit. And 1993 Gala pressings, you can get, I believe, the debut at the very least through 7th Son. And you'll save a lot, and these sound incredible. These sound the way Iron Maiden should sound. And come on, you have Children of the Damned, The Prisoner, Number of the Beast, Run to the Hills, Hallowed Be Thy Name. This is as quintessential as Iron Maiden gets. So, 93 Russian pressings, you'll thank me later. Now I want to introduce a few themes to this series, and then we'll commence. Number 1, it's going to be albums that we wish were released in surround and have not yet been. So this is Nilsson Schmilsson. I think it's rumored that this actually exists in quad, and it's just never seen the light of day. So I'm going to be listening to that this week. Another trend is classic albums in stereo that also have a 5.1 surround release, or otherwise, Atmos or quad. But I'm going to be comparing stereo albums to their surround counterpart, and I'm going to start with Genesis Trespass, because many of you have been asking for a review of the Genesis box sets. As some, but maybe not all, know, the entire Genesis catalog has been mixed into surround, and there are some fans of that surround work, and there are some denigrators. So you'll find out as we embark on this journey where I lie for each of these albums. And we're going to begin with Trespass. Just a sneak peek. I actually like this album musically. So I'm going to have fun comparing the LP to the SACD. Alright, and then a theme I've been trying to establish is a quad album of the week. And this week's album is going to be Jim Croce. I Got a Name. This is a quadraphonic album, so I will decode it on quadraphonic equipment, and we'll see what happens. And then, last but not least, I am going to do what I can to keep new acquisitions in rotation. So this week, I happened to pick up a copy of Black Sabbath, Volume 4. And I'm not even sure what kind of pressing this is, whether it's a reissue. I'm pretty sure it is because it just looks so dang good. But I'll do the research on exactly like the lineage of this pressing, and we'll give it a listen, and I'll let you know what I think. I love this album, and what remains to be seen are the particulars of this pressing. So, thank you for sticking with me through this introduction, and without further ado, we'll get on to more records. You put the lime in the coconut. I can understand what the mystery was around Harry Nilsson. It's good stuff. Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance. Wow, what a record. I was not overly familiar with this before this morning's listen. I have heard it on earbuds during a workout, and so I knew that I liked this album. My goodness gracious. I guess that's the Hellion on the front. If you see this thing coming for you, I suggest you get out the way. The Hellion, Electric Eye, Riding on the Wind, basically all of side A is pretty killer. And I mean, side B maybe felt like it let up a tiny bit, but Screaming for Vengeance is a cool track. Of course, there's the mega hit, You've Got Another Thing Coming. Wow. So recently I've seen what I consider to be a pretty incredible band in my area twice. Opening for the Pineapple Thief, and then also opening for Riverside. These guys, if they can't fit everyone in the tour bus, will send whom they can. So I've seen them perform twice as a duo, even though they're a 4-piece band. So you get vocal and rhythm guitar, and then like some foot stomping, and bass and accompanying vocal. And these guys are killer. So I just want to talk about them because I hope that lots of people find out about them. I think they deserve to be bigger than they currently are. They are called the Cyberiam. The Cyberiam. Seen them twice. The second time I saw them, I still had every single song like stuck in my memory. Like I knew how to sing along. Alice in Afterland, The Fall, Butterfly Effect. I've heard a couple of their albums now. I also love those. So I've got an album, I've got a live album, what I think is an EP, and then a live concert. And I'm going to be just digging into these guys. I'm going to throw one of these albums on the OPPO BDP 95. So not vinyl this time, though I hope these guys can come out on vinyl soon. And I also hope these guys can get their music out in surround. Alright, Cyberiam. I just listened to Forging Nations live, and I listened to Connected the other day. Connected is a studio album. Forging Nations live is a concert, I think. It was around an hour. And Alice in Afterland, The Fall, Butterfly Effect, all huge favorites for me. Total earworm moments. Plenty of complexity. If I had to describe these guys, I would say they're kind of like a heavy Rush, Pink Floyd, Tool, maybe some Queens of the Stone Age, and more besides. So these guys are cool. I will leave links below. I encourage you, please check them out. So thanks to my friend Gene, I have a chance to listen to Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Trouble Is, 25th anniversary. Comes with a couple of LPs, some Blu-rays, a DVD, a CD, so I'm going to dig into the whole set. I really love his album, The Traveler, in Atmos and RO3D, so I'm looking forward to hearing this one in Blu-ray, lossless, Atmos. Alright, so Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Trouble Is, at 25 years. This is a cool package. I like, for me, that I get the album on double LP because I like spinning vinyl. The package also comes with a CD of the album and a DVD of a concert. That concert is also on a Blu-ray. And then the entire album in Atmos is also on a Blu-ray. So I haven't dug into the Atmos mix yet, but I like the record. And I can particularly recommend Blue on Black. I think that a lot of people will actually recognize that. Sounds like it was very popular to me. And then the closing of the album with Ballad of a Thin Man by Bob Dylan is just a profoundly great cover of that song. So I at least recommend that you check out this album streaming. But if you're interested in the LPs, CD, DVD, Blu-ray, concert, and then the album in Atmos, and then an accompanying booklet about the album, I think this does represent pretty good value. Fortunately, a friend sent it to me at a pretty steep personal discount. So, not sure I would love this at full price, but I'm just telling you what's here. Now on to a very special record. This just came in from Germany, found it on Discogs. It's Eddy Grant, Electric Avenue, 12-inch single, backed with Walking on Sunshine. The reason why this is special is it's one of my son's current favorite songs. He's 5 years old, and he's hearing stuff that he likes, he's hearing stuff that he doesn't like, and he's letting me know. So we have played Electric Avenue on the radio, we've played it on YouTube, on our televisions and stuff. So it's time to spin it, and this is going to go in his section of the collection. And I think it's a profoundly cool song. It's musically ironic. It's upbeat, but the message of it, if you really listen to the song, is pretty dark and, in my opinion, profound. So here we go. I'm about to call him into the room, and we're going to spin this, and we'll see how much fun we have.
Daddy, you're supposed to keep it a secret.
Well, you're allowed to know now.
I know.
It was only a surprise until I told you.
You're supposed to keep it a secret so Mommy doesn't know. So Mom doesn't know.
Oh, she's about to find out. Nice.
Take somebody one.
Oh, I think we have that on record. I could try to find that for you if you want.
It's sure, but that one is on Electric Avenue. Is it a whole record of different songs?
Yeah, I'll try to find it for you, okay?
How many different songs are on that record?
I think there's around 12 songs on it.
12 different
Alright, ready?
songs?
This is called Walking on Sunshine. You ready?
They go Walking on Sunshine. Does it go like that?
If it's the one I'm thinking of. What'd you think about that song?
Best ever!
So you got Electric Avenue on side A.
Yeah.
And you got Walking on Sunshine on side B. Which song did you like better?
It's time to Electric Avenue.
Oh, all right, Electric Avenue, but this version is longer than you hear on the radio or on YouTube. This is the extended version. Do you feel like it went on a little too long?
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, you know what we can do next time?
What?
We can lift the needle when we're done.
What's that?
Oh, so you don't have to let the record run all the way from the outside to the inside? Let's say that we get bored of the song, you know, after a few minutes.
Yeah, you just lift it up.
Off in the night.
You're like, hey, cool. And now I've enjoyed it, right? And if we don't have to listen to the last 3 minutes, we just go like this. Watch, I'll even fade it out. Just fade it out. Oh, I can only hear it coming off the surface of the vinyl now. And then you just, boop, lift it up, and it's all done. So it's cool that we got the extended version. That's 6 minutes, 20 seconds. But if we only want to hear what we're used to, just lift the needle. Now, I will say this. Walking on Sunshine, gratefully, is not the version that I thought it would be. It seems to be a unique Eddy Grant song. And it's also around 5 to 6 minutes. And it features some instrumentation that may very well be like locally ethnic for him, which I think is very cool. So some guitar work and some percussion in particular. Hey, so I wasn't planning on this one, but we are listening to some of my son's favorite songs, and he remembered that he heard Take the Money and Run recently, and he asked for it by name, so here we go. Alright, so Fly Like an Eagle, obviously a great record. We had a fun time listening to one of my son's current favorite songs, Take the Money and Run, and then a couple more numbers as well. This also exists on a DVD video, so you're going to get a Dolby Digital 5.1 mix, but that 5.1 mix is crazy good. I really wish that it would be released losslessly someday, and that the other albums would receive just as good surround attention. But anyway, spinning the LP was cool for this morning, and now it's on to the album from around the world today. This is Little Joe and the Latinaires. So what I was told by the vendor from whom I bought this is that you could look at this sort of like Selena and her family, but like 2 decades earlier. So it's Latin American music played in popular form of its time. And I've had one listen through it already, and I really, really love it. And I'm going to see if I resonate with the same song. And if I do, I'll give you a song recommendation to track down. Anyway, it's called On Tour, and this is cool. Lots of good dance numbers here. And as memory served, I do recommend Triste Pensamiento as a good place to start for these guys. Very cool song and very well rendered. So yeah, this is a Mexican record company, and it looks like they journeyed up to El Paso to get this recorded. So I'm glad they did. This is a cool record. Some Mexican music from decades gone by. This was my first listen through an entire Jim Croce record. Up to this point, I had heard plenty of his songs on the radio, and then his Photographs and Memories Greatest Hits collection I've heard numerous times. I am pleasantly surprised, to the point of possibly being pleasantly shocked. I love this album experience. I'm only partially burned out on Working at the Car Wash Blues, and the quad mix for the songs that I know really well, maybe a little too well, is so interesting that it felt like a new experience and enjoyable. So highlights for me, I am eternally grateful that I finally have had the chance to hear the song Age. I would say it is definitely my standout from the album. I also really like Top Hat Bar and Grill for sort of, the upbeat, tongue-in-cheek style of song that he put quite a few of on the Greatest Hits. I would have rather have heard this one all these years. This is a very cool record. I would say low point for me would be 5 short minutes. I just don't love the theme of the song, but the Stu Woods and Steve Gadd rhythm section is really a marvel to behold, and elements of Jim Croce's work really come through with such clarity that for me it's like hearing it for the first time. Very, very interesting bass lines, interesting percussion work, There are some string arrangements on this album and some really, really key piano parts that I really hadn't ever noticed before. Harmonies, counter melodies, really clever arrangements. This is a cool record. It's a very sad record. I love the photographs. Photographs and memories, right? These photographs bring back memories for me. These are kind of like looking at old pictures of my dad. Especially like this one, it was faded from the get-go. Oh, anyhow, this has been a wonderful way to wrap up this session of Albums of the Week. And really I'm winding up this week and getting ready. I'm beginning the next week. So this was cool. I recommend this. Either stream it in stereo or find a quad version. It's also available on a Japanese pressing in CD4, if you can handle CD4. Anyway, I love this. Love you all. Thank you for your support. Don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, share videos, leave comments, and listen to some cool music this week. And I look forward to seeing you next week.